Hey everyone, I'm out here at Basiliea Farm in Burpengary, North Brisbane, which is home to Basiliea living herbs and edible flowers. And this is where a lot of the really high quality produce you see in local cafes and restaurants actually starts. Today I'm catching up with Sarah, the owner and operator of this family farm, to see how she grows, harvests, and supplies everything from herbs and microgreens through to edible flowers, all with a huge focus on quality, consistency, and care. This definitely isn't mass-produced stuff. It's thoughtful, intentional growing, done by somebody who generally understands plants and the people cooking with them. But for now, let's get started. Let's go find Sarah and see what she's up to.
Good morning.
Good morning. Look at this excitement.
Coming just in time.
This looks brilliant.
Finishing up the flowers.
Wow.
These are our cafe seasonal mix.
They look brilliant. So much colour. So much colour.
A nice variety of ones that are very decorative and then very yummy and ready to eat.
Yes. So these will be sent off to cafes and they're going to be used in the cafe in various ways. Obviously decoration, used to put on top of a cupcake or something, thrown into a breakfast.
Yeah, maybe brighten up someone's day, I hope.
They certainly
I
have
have
been.
to be realistic, not many of them get eaten. I'm hoping these ones will. These are the begonias. They've got a new name came to me from a wonderful German chef that visited recently, of apple skin flower, because it's got that really tangy taste of apple skin.
That's beautiful. That's
Thank
really
you for
cool.
coming today.
You're
I
welcome.
know it's just before Christmas, but I really wanted to show you around.
Yeah, I'm
what
excited
I
to
did,
see.
because it gets a bit complicated.
I'm sure it does. And we
I'll
obviously
explain
spoke on the podcast, I don't know, it's probably best part of the year ago. And you talk me through all of this wonderful process, but we don't get to see it in person. These crazy beautiful petals.
Yeah, we don't like to waste anything. They're all
No.
edible flowers. Really is a bit of a beauty contest, and there are still petals that can. So I'll get all of these in the fridge, and in the meantime, I've boiled up some tea.
Tea?
Over here.
Oh,
So
some
I
tea.
ran around this morning, and inside here is a lemon myrtle. We've also got, some elderflower as well that was in there.
I love
and
elderflower.
The holy basil.
Oh, really?
Holy basil, the tulsi, holy.
That's amazing. Do you dry this before you put it in, or
No, I
just
do
straight
not.
in? Well,
Straight in.
look
straight
at that.
in. Now, what I often do is make up a tea, but if it is a hot day, you can use it a bit more like a cordial. So
Look at this. This is
if
amazing.
you don't want something warm,
Do you do
give
this
it
for all
short
your
water.
guests that come through here?
maybe. Maybe. Feel like mine. I just do a
That's
taste
amazing.
test up and have a morning cuppa with me.
I love to. Look at this. Woo!
Just enjoy.
Wow, I feel like I should be sticking my little finger out.
You should. You should. A little bit of English heritage.
Goodness me, that's delicious.
All right. Last couple of ones.
Pulled straight off the stem.
It allows it to be as fresh as possible.
Brilliant. Why didn't they like your old hat?
Got holes in it. And I do want to embroider in the front, but I haven't been able to stop long enough to
There's
be able to do
nothing
it.
wrong with your hat. I think character is great. All right, let's do it.
I've gone through a lot of hats. I go through a lot of hats.
Wow. This is so impressive.
Thank you. It's a mismatch of everything. I think we were just speaking before about, all the different things that work and don't work.
Yeah.
So essentially it is a hydroponic method,
Cool.
right?
Hydro.
Hydro, it's reticulated. So it's like a closed loop situation where the water comes from the reservoir, it gets pumped up to, this is one of the feeder points along here. All of these 10 runs here. And it gets pumped out, and then gravity fed down.
Right, because it's on a slight slope all the way down.
Well, the property was on a slope, and people will ask what degree you do it, and it's like, mate,
it doesn't necessarily
the
matter.
ground depicted what it was, but in reality, the water's just got to flow. And depending on what you're growing, it's got to flow with some decency, because you do need to keep oxygen in the water. It's very, very important. The river system only works when the water's healthy, and there's got to be oxygen in water, which kind of blows people's minds.
Yeah, exactly. Oxygen in water is great.
When you think about what water is, H2O, okay?
Is there any difference between what you would put up the top of the hill versus the bottom?
No. However, in saying that, we grow a lot of different things, and they're mainly leafy green things.
Yeah. Which we can kind of see.
With what we've got here is a system that I bought that was already located and set up in another way when it was bought new. So this was like the ultimate secondhand find.
Yeah.
Though it was coming from my mother. We had to rejumble it here. Now, it was done for bigger than what we grow here. And honestly, if you were growing flowers where they are depleting the nutrient much faster, you would have smaller runs.
Yeah.
Because, the water, as it heads down, the plants are taking the nutrients. So the ones down below are getting the least amount.
That makes sense.
Now, what we inherited, I've pretty much kept. It was a fun little Tetris piece to try and fit how much I could fit in the space allocated here. So we've got less than 800 metres, which is what 2 house blocks these days, which is quite luxurious. But it does pack 1,300 pots.
Yeah, you've got an amazing amount.
And still trying to make it through and make it a bit fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you got things like kind of growing underneath.
This was the greatest thing. So you'll go to any other hydroponic place and it will have like what I call racing stripes.
Racing stripes?
Where everything is like being weed killed underneath because, you know, they heaven forbid something grew underneath. It is a bit of maintenance, you know, wobbly jobbly, but I've found that growing edible flowers underneath have worked really, really well through summertime.
Woohoo! There's a couple of flowers under there.
Now, because we were doing the flowers before, there's not much flowers out.
Yeah, we've taken all the good ones.
Picked them all. Picked them all.
This is crazy.
So we don't spray at all here on
Wonderful.
the farm. The story of having my third child while beginning the farm, there was no chance that I was going to have anything nasty down here.
Yeah.
Even with my young children and just the way I knew things would be able to grow. So these are things that we have, our little habitats that bring, so very common in gardening is making sure that you bring the predators in.
Yep.
I think it's very ironic that we want to get rid of the vegan bugs.
Yeah.
By bringing in the carnivores.
Yes.
And this spider is a little bit camera shy because it was down in here and now it's run down.
He's gone.
But that's the point. These little habitats where things can hide.
Yeah.
It will also allow the occasional caterpillar to become a butterfly and moth, all those sorts of things.
But it's important, as you say, bring in the beneficials, the predators.
Got to bring them in, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to provide homes for them. So that's often something that you won't find in your traditional hydroponics.
True, yep, true. Wow.
Good morning.
Good morning. Pineapple sage. I absolutely love this one.
Yeah.
So good.
It is. We had the tips of that on a restaurant's menu through the springtime and that's changed. So we've cut all of that back.
Yeah, okay.
Kept a few there.
Depends on the demand, doesn't it?
Yeah, it will. So we've got purple Mitsuna.
It's a beautiful one.
And up the back here, green shiso. So this one is used with the leaf. You put a bit of, like, in Korea they put some shredded beef and veggies, and pickled veggies, in that, and roll it up.
Beautiful.
A little bit like a tortilla.
Yeah.
Thing
Amazing.
Little baby greens.
These look so good. And then, excuse me for lifting up, just so you can see the
Little
root system
roots.
underneath. How
So
cool is
they're
that?
about 2-3 weeks old.
2-3 weeks, right?
Would be 20 days max.
Wow. Are they planted out here from the get-go, from seed, or?
No, we've got the greenhouse. So they
Okay.
do need to be able to have their roots right down
That's what I was thinking,
here.
yeah. They've
So
got
that
to be
they can
coming out the bottom.
continue to wick. Right?
That's right,
But wicking.
Yeah, otherwise you have to
wicking.
top water.
Yeah. These here were some snapdragons.
Oh yeah, so the flowers have been taken.
We've chopped them back because they didn't survive the rain and the storm very well.
No.
And all of the storms that we have had at the end of the year.
You've had some crazy storms here.
Cut them back to see what would come back, but not too much.
Yeah, I know.
And we've already gone through and taken out our best stock for the last lot. These ones will be cut next week for silage that will go out to our...
Is this what's happened to this one?
Yes.
So they just
We've chopped a few
beheaded.
that were ready to go.
Will they regrow from that?
No.
Okay.
So, with microgreens, which are just other plants in their smaller form, there's no special microgreens unless you're buying sprouts, which are, not the true plant. Once you've cut back past that calyx point, they won't grow back.
Okay.
So if you can keep that and only cut back that tiny bit of growth and, leave that one, you'll get it growing back.
Right.
But once you come past that point,
it's kind of just...
you've beheaded it.
And there's no photosynthesis able to happen.
There's nothing that can do, no. No. Nothing.
Oh, wait, and then these are the amazing...
Yeah, coming from the tree begonia. Not many people might be familiar with the tree begonia form. You might see little begonias.
That's incredible.
They're sort of more rounded leaf. That was a plant that I inherited from my mum. She left it here while she was moving houses, and then it never got back to her place.
You're like, thanks very much.
I'm like, thank you.
It's very cool.
Thank you. But there is, I was mentioning before, the female flower over the male flowers.
So, right, the difference is...
We've got all of the sexual organs behind here that will end up making the seed in this section here.
Okay, cool.
And then the male flowers, which is what everyone might be more familiar with, that just open up.
Cool, they're so pretty.
Singly.
And then getting to taste one was amazing.
Apple mint going crazy under here. So having the Burpengary Creek, it's really wet, and I haven't been, it's been very, very wet and sodden to be able to grow much through here. But then, of course, our natives are doing wonderful. With some warrigal greens.
What's this one called?
Warrigal green.
Warrigal green, there you go.
Which you can eat raw.
I don't know.
Just not much of it. Just not, and that's the same with all greens. All greens. Cos lettuce, we do a
These
baby
are so
cos
sweet.
mix.
They look
Very
so
soft.
good.
Very soft.
And this is all open now. So is there a difference between what you choose to have out in the open with no shade versus shaded areas?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll be honest that really the only big shady area is in the centre of the farm.
Yeah, okay. Because the one we just walked under was a little bit kind of more see-through grade, but that one's the shady one. Okay.
Yeah. So the shade cloth works in percentages.
Yeah, that's right.
So you'll get 30%, 50% and 75%, then it will go up to 90%, depending when you're looking for shade cloths that are almost,
exactly, yeah.
Which are not so much for agricultural or horticultural use. But what we do have here is this wonderful tree line of the reserve behind us. So this section will get into shade, and this section has a bit more sun. So that shade cloth there just really makes this section very much like this environment in the shade. So there's not much difference between here. Over in the shade there is a lot, and over the top in what we call the 12s, because we have named everything, of course, each of the sections, and you'll learn the map when you're working here. is the most sunniest spot. But then that changes with seasons.
Changes over the year, yeah.
So if I don't have any space for coriander, in wintertime I will put it down the back because it will be almost the same.
True. Because you are very seasonal here with what you grow, right?
Have to be, because we're completely grown out using the element. And you know,
which is amazing how you can do a lot of the lettuces in this temperature. Like a lot of people traditionally struggle with leafy greens through the summer.
It's not all, you know.
Yeah, so you can see that obviously.
It's not all.
But they're quite big for their pots too, aren't they?
They are. So that was a lot that did end up getting a bit damaged and wasn't able to be too salvageable without so much work going into it. I find one of the most, you know, mind-boggling things that farmers have to go through, that I'd like consumers to know, is that when it's really bad weather and we get really bad quality crops, it takes a lot longer to sort through less quality crops, and then it's still not up to standard and we have to sell it at a less price.
Yeah.
So we're lingering with the thought of, you know, the downfall of that crop for a lot longer.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we're not rewarded at the end of it the same. So it really does, you know, hit home, and market price instead of someone's mental well-being price when you think about it.
I know what you mean. It is really difficult, but it's like it just shows kind of, you know, like even for me, like these are still perfectly fine for 99% of people, just not for the.
But it will be the taking through this and taking another hour to sort through that.
Yeah.
Will I get that hour back?
Maybe not.
No. In the home garden? Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, I will. And I've got to check in here. So because we don't use any added chemicals that aren't required for the growing process, a la chlorines to clean our water,
yeah,
we get cloggages of algae growth and all sorts of things. And we block them up.
But it's also kind of...
So we have to unblock them.
Yeah, it's also kind of good though, because it's more natural. I think like having everything too clean almost
I do
defeats
think
the purpose.
Changes the taste, and also doesn't really give it much taste coming through. This actually is our sick point when our tank pumps filters really need a good clean out or something's happened. This particular bed will actually fall. The first one to fall.
Right, okay.
It's the first one to get into shade too of the day.
That's cool. Wow.
Which has worked out quite nicely.
You got mint everywhere here.
Yes. And the apple mint, which gives the best flower.
I haven't seen the flowers for these.
Sweet white flower.
It's so, but just having this ground cover that's also...
It's weeds that you don't want.
Yeah.
As much as I can still see them coming through. There's also the sweet potato down there as well, doing its thing.
Over there.
People do say mint, 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 but if you don't have a small garden, and if you do have a larger garden, I'd rather the mint ramble than any other type of weed.
Yeah, exactly.
A weed is something in it the wrong place. And this is definitely not in the wrong place. It's doing something for me, keeping things happening. This is our annual harvest of pesto.
This is so brilliant. Sweet basil.
So my mother and I will end up pestoing all of this gorgeous goodness. A couple of them will end up going out to Rosalie Gourmet, a shop that I still supply. For the last 20 years we've supplied there, and personally I've delivered there for 18.
Wow.
So they'll get a few of these.
Because you've worked with these plants as part of Basiliea since you were a teenager, from what I remember.
Yes.
Working for Mum, then taking over.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you know them quite well.
This year, absolutely, it's the 25th year since moving from Victoria.
Goodness me.
And moving on to a herb farm. And we had to find a Christmas tree, and there was a pop-up shop in Burpengary with pre-organised decorated trees, and I still have that Christmas tree to this day.
So good.
It's not decorated the same. My kids did it this year, which is great. But yes,
But it's
been
still
a
fun.
not the same property, of course. I bought this property.
Yeah, so it's been moved down the road almost.
16, yeah. Moved over the train tracks, actually. Moved west.
Look how healthy these are. And, like, again, they're still in these tiny pots, but they're just... the roots is... Whoa.
Oh, they could be no healthier than that. We get all the bugs.
True, but, like, they're so healthy considering. Like, most people would not be able to keep
well,
that
there
up.
is having to keep many crops going. And certainly in hydroponics, the way things and the science goes are for certain plants. They're not for all plants.
Yeah.
And there is a difference between the mustard to the sweet basil.
Yeah.
And you do need to fix that little bit of bridge between them all, and that's not pumping them full of stuff, which you can do. But then what I have been known for is how well my plants will transplant from hydroponics into a home garden.
Which I've just done. Yeah,
yes.
with
Which
sweet
people
basil.
will tell you, and they still tell me, oh no, you can't do that. And I'm like, yes, you can't do that for a plant that has been grown for the purpose of growing and having it used in a single purpose. Because the way they have grown that, they've taken all of the nutrients out of it, and actually most times the last 2 weeks of it have flushed it with water.
Yes. Yeah.
And not fed it any nutrients to actually take out the bitterness from the nutrients that they've souped it up with.
Yeah, that's right. Because it's all about taste, a lot of
let
this.
alone it not actually being grown out in the environment to begin with. So certainly the way these are grown, and then being told, chop it all off. Use all of that. And then plant them, because they're not little seedlings. They've got all of this, which you should be using, and then they get another growth back from that. So it's almost that you see the mean, grow your celery back, all that.
And like you were saying about leaving a few of the leaves, you can sort of take that there.
Only works when you've taken all of that off. And give them some food.
It's very good.
So these guys did get sunburnt. This is lemon balm. We can see the sun burning happening here. So they will grow up a little bit more, and then I'll be able to cut them, and the bits they'll fall off. A lot of these bits that weren't there, they'll fall off the new growth that's underneath.
Yeah, cool. And then they'll fill out and look nice.
And then we'll be able to chop all of them off for a salad mix.
Very nice.
Put them all in there. Red amaranth has been very popular for the festive season.
And it's good for summer, right? Like it's
oh my gosh, it grows incredibly well. So easy, self-seeds, and is one of the most nutritional spinaches you could be using in all your growth.
I love, like, just the look of them in these tiny pots is so gorgeous, and the little, like, stems and stuff. They just look so cool. And you're right, festive, very festive.
And we grow them a little bit taller. So they're not like the microgreens, they're more baby greens to me, because we do try and go from that calyx, which would be the traditional microgreen, out to the first leaf. And it gives them much more presence on the plate. Yeah,
exactly. Wow. This is packed out.
Yeah. This will be Andrea's first thing she gets to send to herself each Tuesday when she comes to work, picking all of these.
For what purpose?
So they are for the edible flowers. This is the Australian native violet, which is one of our wonderful native edible flowers. But what we'll need to do is take off all the flowers that have spent. So those that have curled over at the end of their life.
We don't need them.
She will, no.
And then we promote the new ones, right?
Yeah. And then picking these ones for our edible flower orders.
They look so good. And are they part of the tubs that we saw earlier you were putting together?
They aren't today, because things are changing for that Christmas week. We do have to, I will get some of these for a particular client. We do the Crocodile Hunter Lodge restaurant called Warrior.
Cool.
And they do a wonderful job up there making sure that they've got a lot of Indigenous foods on their menu. It's definitely, if you don't think you might stay at the Crocodile Hunter Lodge, definitely think about going to the restaurant there, because they do have wonderful Wonderful
Yeah.
menu, and I do need to get at least one
They
container
look so good.
for their order.
Wow, beautiful. And these are just more a decorative flower or a
Well,
taste?
wonderfully, they taste a little bit like a potato.
Really? Okay.
So having that means that they can really do well on both savoury and sweet. And because they're small, I'll pick them with a bit of a stem, because if you do put them into a smoothie, you can place them a little bit easier, but then you can all pop their heads off. And that isn't something too cumbersome to come across and for someone to try and eat. And then,
True.
yeah, it's not unpleasant at all.
All right, let's give it a go. Interesting. I didn't get a huge amount of potato taste, but
But it wasn't unpleasant.
no, it's not.
And it's still a bit spongy. And when you do actually get through that, if you're game enough to eat through this the back end of the green here, you will get sweetness, because that is where the nectar's from, where the bees are after.
That's wicked.
But this actually was a wonderful accident that I now absolutely love, where
That's
we did
amazing.
let the native violet go crazy over one of the NFT channels. And now I call it the heart of the farm, but reality it's the liver, or the kidney, sorry, of the farm, where it's another way that the water can filter. So naturally, you would have roots in the riverbank filtering all of the things that are in the water naturally.
Yep.
You'd have all your microbes and all your little creatures feeding off that. Now in here, that's several years now of growth.
That's
couple
crazy.
Of fingers I can pop in there, a couple
is
of
it
inches
still
of growth up.
like this? Like it's the same?
Underneath, yes.
So it's the same as this. Are they in pots?
No.
The roots just literally go straight into here.
Yeah, so I did have them in pots because there were pots for sale.
Yeah.
And they ended up overgrowing, and so a storm happened, something happened, life happened, they continued to grow. Then I was able to use them. I got big orders from caterers that wanted 500 plates of something.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, you can easily see you can get 500 of something from here.
This is amazing.
And I just ended up allowing it to grow.
I love how it's like cascades all the way down the side. Like it just fully looks like a hedge over this whole thing.
It's gorgeous.
It is really cool.
And it's something more to be seen through the winter time. As we are going in through summer, it really is suffering. And by February, this will have taken over.
Right, okay.
Right? Which is just a little bit of stress. It is in the middle of the farm. It does get a lot of sun when it really would love a shade area.
Yeah, it's kind
You
of
can see the difference
overcast.
between this side having less flowers and this side having a lot more, and a lot more of the sun damage.
Okay.
Than what's
Interesting.
happening on this side, the lighter green.
And you get like a bit of, bit of both, having some sun over the side and then
And this observation, this is an observation that gets written down at the data, that gets passed down to, people about understanding about how things grow, where you can grow something in the full sun, but certainly you want to get those genetics from something that's been into the full sun.
Yeah,
Won't handle
locally
it as much
adapted.
as in the green. But on in the garden level, constantly be moderate, looking and observing. Number one rule, observing your own garden. Because what's happening here will not be the same as somebody else.
Very true, yeah. Even, like we're not that far away from each other and it's like, it could be different even in that, so.
This is a shady area. More of our burnt and second handies. These ones that didn't quite make the grade to go out.
And what happens if they don't make the grade? What would you do with a lot of the stuff?
They go to second grade. There's a salad that I'll cut.
Yeah.
And there'll be things that can be quality for that. And then if they're not quality for that, they'll end up going to the chooks.
Yeah. Recycled?
Because we need eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well,
if I've got herbs and eggs, I'm happy. All I need.
That's really good.
All I need.
Sorrel?
I've always visioned doing with the sorrel and the chicory, because they're the ones that always tend to be the less desired because of their flavours. When they get bigger, they're less desired. But there's a lot of those that like poultry, that
Yeah.
keep poultry
Yeah.
with their fancy poultry, and I need to make a fancy poultry mix
Mm-hmm.
with all of those things. That was what I was pondering. You ponder a lot of things while you're on this.
You do. You get a lot of time to ponder.
We put eggs in different baskets. That's how it happens in a farmer's world.
This is
I'm
so good.
constantly picking. Because when you pick, new flowers will come.
They're
The
beautiful, aren't
geraniums.
they? Yeah, I love the little geranium flowers.
Oh, down here, I want to show you. In summertime will be when different varieties of mint flower.
Right, okay.
So over here, and really lovely for Christmas time and drinks. You know, having mint in there very subtly. So this is the spearmint flower, which is a lovely purple. Comes up very spearminty like.
I like it. Pretty, isn't it?
And it has that wonderful sweet minty.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
definitely a
So
spearmint.
putting that into a drink, absolutely gorgeous. I know a lot of people
Or tea?
will see,
Yeah, tea.
a lot of people will see their herbs going to flower instead of fret. And it's like, no. Use the flowers.
Yeah, and often they're bringing in the bees, which we walk past quite a few basil plants, which are
Yeah.
just inundated with bees.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
flowers.
these are.
Look at this. Look at the size of that root sticking out.
That one has survived quite a few hailstorms.
If it works, right?
Yeah, and I couldn't quite throw around. So when we have done seedlings, there'll always be the odd seedling that wasn't sellable, one that only had one seedling in it, and then they get left, right? And they get left to be part of that habitat.
Yeah.
They get left to die and do their thing, and then there'll be a weather event. But there'll be buds, and when there are buds, you know there's life. So I just can't take something out when I know that it is working.
Oh, I totally agree. And
we've got the space. We've got, customers that are closing down for the holiday period. So we've got a bed down. We've got a bit of space to be able to create a little habitat and, a wonderful flower. This particular cosmos is another one that's got beautiful flavour, but it's too big. It is too big, and you do need to petal this one.
so you take the petals out.
Yeah. Take the petals out.
Wow.
They're little wings in a patty pan.
Oh, sweet.
Little fairy wings, and it does have a musk taste. So this is a favourite of crystallising, which is basically schnitzeling with sugar.
With sugar, yeah.
And it tastes just like a muskbolly. I've lost this to my daughter several times doing workshops.
Really?
She's come along and with her sweet tooth.
Yeah, she just loves it.
Knocked them off. Absolutely knocked them off.
That's nice.
Violas are a common edible flower, but they are difficult to grow. And when you're growing them, that's because they've had some things under them you don't want to eat. If a little dainty English flower can withstand tropical heat, you wonder why.
Yeah, well, that's true. Wow, I like these.
Yards.
These look like wilder areas.
They're wilder areas because there is a lot more for me to be able to handle. And my husband is home, so he's going to be able to help me over the holidays to mangle some bits together.
But these are also habitats, right? Like you were saying.
They are, but I really do want to get under that compost.
There'll be those plants look like they're healthy, so they're probably using all of that compost.
And in saying that, for some people, certain weeds that they would dream for are definitely weeds for me. But there are, some bigger weeds in there that we need to conquer. Beautiful clover still.
Clover coming out.
Still going in there. Sorrel to the side. More of the apple mint. More of that awful
diversity.
Rat's tail. Yeah. Because we've got the Burpengary Creek behind us, we've got a water source. Now, it's not proper running creek, but we do still have the animals that accompany a dry rainforest and those sorts of things, which Burpengary is. Definitely recommend people go to the creek centre, on Raleigh Road, look that up.
Yeah.
And we've got these beautiful birds. I can't remember their exact names at the moment. We'll look them up. They've just lifted up in the waterfowl family.
Yeah.
They just lift up their backs and they're so small. They're fluffy little black things.
Sweet.
But up here, we've had 2 homes for them. So I've really wanted to pull out this particular plant because it is a weed. It's non-edible. It's a runaway, and people might be very familiar with this.
Oh,
The
yes.
ones in the shade grow really lovingly coloured, but the ones in the sun, they're not so great.
Wow, so it's
And
the same plant, obviously, yeah, and then you don't get that light variation.
So same thing, different environment, and you will get a different result.
This is a lot of a focus when people are trying to get the variegation in indoor houseplants as well, with the amount of light and direct sunlight versus indirect.
Environment has a lot to do, genetics are just a little bit.
And then it's creeping its way along your path here on its way out.
I did have a candelabra
Oh, wow.
aloe in here that has flowered and recently collapsed again in the storms. But underneath here is pretty much matted, and that's one of this is like their day home where they come and feed.
Yeah,
But the nests were actually under this area. Now, I'm very fortunate. I've made every bit of the garden as much as possible edible. This is a new area that is in the heart of our property and has no shade. For summertime, it's really difficult to grow anything.
Right.
We've got Roman mugwort. Mugwort.
And mugwort here.
Wormwood.
Wormwood.
That's Japanese.
Right.
Wormwood. Then we've got Roman, which is what absinthe is made out of.
Yeah.
I gave that to a distiller recently. Fingers crossed something happens. The
elderflower is one of my favourites. So pretty.
Wild strawberries, but under here is actually an old metal garden bench.
Cool.
Garden seat. And so we have had the blue butterfly pea grow all over it.
It's
There's
pretty.
a couple of other little weird, and a loofah I can see growing over there at the moment. But underneath that is actually where they built their nest.
Oh, sweet.
So you see them darting in and out from all of the different places. There's a stand, a tripod.
Oh, yes.
That was in there that was originally doing the blue butterfly pea. That's collapsed onto it. And it's this wonderful structure of safety underneath there.
Where they can go and nest.
2 generations in, yeah. So when I do come along and I pick the flowers, because this is an active place to pick the flowers, they dart in and out.
I'm
like, chill out, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
If I get it regularly enough, it's been a couple of about 3 weeks now where we've had those big, beautiful butterfly bees. So they will get used to me.
Yeah, they'll see you around.
And you can see another form of the weed control in solarizing.
Yeah, solarizing it all up. So you're going to plant some stuff in this whole area?
Yeah. This area has been multiple different things over its time.
Cool.
We did have a wonderful crop of the blue butterfly peas last year along there. But this year it's been a little bit different with preparation and I haven't been able to achieve the same. But the self-seeded ones have come and popped up.
Yeah, I love the self-seeding surprise that you can get from so many things.
Particularly because, it would be lovely if it continued to self-seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because then every summertime when I do actually have some entertaining here, it will hide all of the things from behind the shed. And that's what gardening is about.
It is, isn't
There's
it?
strategic aim to the gardening. This particular area was actually stealing more gardening space for growing from the lawn from my husband. Right?
Well, that's good. Less lawn mowing.
Strategic. That was one of the selling points that I had.
I will reduce your mowing if we can put a garden in here.
But then again, I do have land here, probably more than the average size block. But definitely those that are thinking of moving from a small block to a big block, the homesteader feel, it is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to have sections that you did something with that looked fantastic and then you move on to the next thing. It's a reality of gardening. When you think about big estates where people had a lot of ostentatious money to go towards their garden, they were able to lock up
Yeah.
areas that didn't look great
Yeah.
for the ones that do.
Totally.
Um,
Very important point. And it's
so
okay to
everything will
let
be
things grow
great.
wild. Like, it just gives habitat and it just lets it do its thing. And like you said, you just focus on other things, then it'll be there when you come back.
And you can deal with it when you get there. So this has actually got a really awful weed that spreads really, really quickly through. It's not even a proper plant. I'm trying to sort of find some, but in order to really eradicate it from this area, I need a burn. So this is another form that suited this area.
So you've burnt it and it's like now got this beautiful ash that will go in and feed the soil.
And hopefully burnt seed that won't germinate.
Yeah, burn all the weed seeds off. Clever.
That's something we lost, I think, to the new generations, was this wonderful show called New Inventors on the ABC. And that was something that I learnt, a new weed, more targeted flame was used to make sure that we didn't have that weed die back.
Very clever.
Not constantly used, but certainly when it needed. Unfortunately, there is a need for glyphosate for certain things, but the way we use it is just not it.
Yeah, it's not it.
Not it.
Wow, so these are tinies.
These are stock going out today.
Wow.
Stock that's going out today. In there and up on the shelves.
So these are microgreens because they're smaller, and then you grow up larger ones for the herbs. Look at how good they look. So
this will be an order, all these ones in the same colour. They're all in order for the same client.
Incredible looking.
Where they'll be using different things. So they've got an Asian style meal, and then they've also got need for basil for their pizza. And some salad greens, those sorts of things. And then the pretties on top. So using in all different ones. These are the babies.
Babies.
So we had a roof repair just yesterday. And so I've not put the new babies and I kept them out here. Also, it's been incredibly humid. So being able to have them under the fans, and you may have heard I just turned off the big fan to create more of the circulation to help less of the dieback that will happen from fungi growth. We often talk about the fungi that help plants grow, but there's a lot that don't help plants grow. When we're growing things in closer proximity, there's not as much airflow.
Yeah, so you definitely get a lot of the mildews and the molds.
In regards to hydroponics and sort of the more inside growing of hydroponics, and I'm like, oh gosh, you can only control so much before something will kick you back.
Oh, it will.
And a little failure will be a big failure. So having these outside with a bit more airflow than I can control. I can do that, but I would not want to do that on a permanent basis.
True.
And that's when money starts to spiral. In horticulture, when you go to get one thing to fix another thing, will cause another problem. And my husband is a sparky, but the least that I can get him out here doing those sorts of things, the better off I am for being able to, make it work. Simplify it.
Simplify, exactly.
These little babies.
They're so cute. Look so soft.
I did forget to water them, and that wasn't great.
Small.
So these will go out this afternoon because we do have Andrea coming. And we've also got a storm. So
that's probably why it's so muggy today.
We will have a storm, which means that they will get watered.
A lot.
So the differences between the top watering and the water being able to get down to their root level and for them to stay moist. If I've still got water predicted, I can put them out a little bit earlier. It's very, very variable, and my hat's off to Andrea, who's taken on the job to learn all of these different things.
The nuances.
Yeah, and she is starting to do that a lot more autonomously, now that she's finished her Cert 3 in horticulture this year.
Beautiful.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
She'll be able to come more hours and do more wonderful things and take on more learning and allow me to step back a little bit.
Why don't you tell me about the storms, because storms are quite common in this part of the world at this time of year. So what sort of things do you do to prepare, protect, and how much does a storm set you back?
Well, it will depend on the type of storm. So a quick one coming through isn't too much, and I don't actually have so much about it, like 12 years. Don't have so much anxiety about a quick storm coming through. It will be the hailstorms coming through. It will be the unusual aspect of all the storms coming through very quickly, like we've just had. The storms that come down and sit for 3 days. Yeah. They're the ones I don't like because they take away my sunlight. So there's no chance of drying out. I can't put fans on everything. The plants are close together, they'll close together. The next day, if it comes out and it's blistering sun and hot, things will just blow up, mold up. It's terrible. They're the ones that I don't like, the lows. They're called the lows, the tropical low.
Tropical low, that's it, yeah.
The monsoonal kind of weather. But in saying that, what we do is seasonality. So there is that change becoming between that October-September sort of period where we go from being quite dry into being a lot more humid. And so we won't grow so many of the brassicas. They also get that white mold underneath very easily through that time. And so even the mature ones I can't use. Even if we got a storm through and a percentage aren't great for micros, they'll still be used for a salad cut. But even those big ones with the white mold, no salad cut opportunity. So we reduce that and end up doing more chrysanthemums and the chicories and the sorrels through that time. You've always got your ear out to the weather.
You have to.
I listen to it very differently to other people. I feel there's a lot of hysteria, particularly in my area because we have had some schools that got flooded out. And we do have issues where you can get flooded in and so there's a little bit more hysteria, particularly having young children and being in that environment. There's certain way to the people I don't want to listen to. But BOM is pretty good. And if I know there's going to be a rain, we pre-pick. And I do have a setup inside the shed with a light. And if I need to, I can put up a mini culture for certain things.
Like a grow light to basically...
we've got the LED grow light in there that sits, and I can get one of these. Admittedly, the grow light only does
it's got...
What is it? A 2 metre by 2 metre maximum range.
But it's helping.
I can get this area and it will help. We did that for the Food and Wine Festival with the rain that led up to that. We ended up getting a whole heap of edible flowers out there because we had, more than that. what you came into, we had more than that to get just for that festival. All the cocktail bars and the extra chefs and things like that. So that was very stressful.
I bet.
But you've got to create that environment. You can do that for a short term, for a thing. But long term. The infrastructure required, the resources required, and then you'll still have failures. And when they have that failure, everything needs to be taken.
Do you grow more than what you need?
100%.
Plenty more than what you need, maybe, so that you
100%
can pick the best of the bunch.
And in summertime, it will be more than in wintertime. There are different things that you can do in horticulture to make sure that you don't have the dieback. You can put on the fungus kills, and they do.
But you also don't want to put in all of that stuff.
I don't. But then we have a reticulated system in all facets where we are washing the pots again. We
Okay.
collect those, we wash those, and we reuse those.
Cool.
So everything is washed.
Yeah.
Now the argument would be that, well, you're going to reticulate the stuff through it. I'm like, yeah, but how much do you have to throw out?
Yeah. You want to try
not
and
have that, and I
yeah.
think that's a little bit selfish.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just like making sure,
That's
isn't
a
it?
lot of waste to make sure that something that was naturally attracted to food isn't there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not 100% of the time.
No.
I was quite, with broad acre farming, I was quite surprised that they won't even take any action if, 14% of their stock is damaged.
Really?
That is, between 30% is acceptable.
Yeah, yeah.
So somebody else's standard of acceptable changed and forced, their hand to change their numbers.
Yeah, okay.
It's not always,
Yeah, but it
farmers.
just shows you the cutthroat nature of it being like perfection is one of the only things that people are wanting, and then anything that's not quite there is...
won't, like, if there is a hole in your spinach leaf, that's not going to harm you. Like, they took away the bad.
Yeah.
There isn't a bad bit there.
Yeah.
Right? There isn't a bad bit there when there is a caterpillar eating it or a grasshopper eating. They didn't leave anything behind, and you should wash that anyway.
Yeah.
If you're that way
Yeah.
inclined.
Wash it and eat it, and you'll be fine.
Holes have no calories. There's actual plants that are meant to have holes in them. Very ornamental salad greens that people will waste.
Yeah, they'll be like, no, sorry, not good enough.
In saying that, if you grow in abundance, don't feel you have to use it all.
Yeah.
Because you can compost that. Don't get too stressed. I know a lot of people will have abundance of basil at the moment. A lot of their greens will be going like bolting to seed, that sort of stuff. You can emaciate everything down into like that beautiful little cube of flavour.
Yeah.
Or just compost it.
Yeah.
Give it away. I'm a sucker for a bouquet of herbs and things like that.
That's great.
When you travel to places, there's lots of things that you can do. But if it is just being cut and composted, that's, still okay. Just don't put it in the bin.
Yeah.
Unless you got a green bin. Actually, I say that I have to change now that society has changed, particularly here in our Moreton Bay, that you can get a green bin.
Yeah.
So put it in the green bin.
Put it in the green bin. Or feed it to the
My
chooks.
neighbours have green bins. Originally, we weren't allowed to have a green bin because of the size of our property. I believe that's changed, and you can get green bins. My neighbours have them.
As in you're too big, sorry.
So originally, and this was the argument both ways, that if you had a property of a certain size, you automatically got a green bin. So a lot of people were like, I don't want a green bin.
Yeah, but
either because they don't have any green stuff and it was a waste, and I've got to now find a place to store the bin.
Yeah.
Or the other side where people are like, we're using all of our waste, we don't want to put it in the green bin.
Yeah.
How can we opt out? And then a lot of people who were out of the size, like, we want it. And it's just, you can never make everything wonderful
One
for
size
everything.
fits all. Yeah, you can't.
But your intention can always be fantastic, and I think the council's intention is fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's good. I think it's really good because then you're actually reusing. We're not just letting stuff literally go into landfill. So that is really good.
The way, our organising and our waste systems, it's a long way to learn. To
exactly.
do everything differently.
And then
and
you give a fair bit to your chickens. Do you mind if we go and have a look at your chickens?
Come have a look at my chickens. This is my husband's garden. We're our personal, private little family garden.
Oh, I love it. It's
where
cool.
we grow the things we want to eat. We've had a lot of problems with that. I mentioned before. We call it Burpengary because my husband's born in New Zealand.
Yeah,
and
that's what I would call them too.
Waterfowl.
Yeah, Burpengary.
So these are our chickens, which we did have to end up temporary fencing. Like back in the day, it was quite cheap at maybe $35. You can get recycled stuff online.
They're the best.
Really easy to make some structures.
And they can't jump it either.
No, and what we had was actually dogs came in and killed our first 10 chooks.
No way.
We don't quite have all the fences, and so it, it unfortunately became our responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something we thought of. But then you got to keep out everything else.
Yeah.
Mulberry.
Beautiful. So they're all
different.
chilling under the mulberry at the moment.
Chilling
because,
under the mulberry bush.
as they
Quite
should,
hot.
because it's nice and hot today and muggy.
We have to do a run through and
Some pretty ones.
collect all the pots. But
So,
everything compost in there, and they get to have a heap of fun in there.
wow, I can see a blue-banded bee, I think.
It's a mess.
So you obviously can throw a lot of your waste over into the chickens, right?
Yes, my family, my eldest son has the chicken bin, and I'd love him to do a better job. However, the fence did get high and he's quite short.
Yeah.
No, it's,
This.
trying to get the kids on. We've got some lovely squash happening now. Zucchini.
Looking
That'll
good.
help it to grow as it goes upright.
Yeah.
Again with zucchini in there. The Pukeko double jack corn.
Yeah, you still got a couple at the front, but
over.
yeah, they've all been knocked
All
over back there.
No, well, this was a block,
Yeah,
and that was a big block, but
used to be.
yeah. It really went for gold. Purple marshmallow, personal favourite.
Yes.
Put a few flowers in. This was from the bus tour. I got some seedlings from All Herbs and Seedlings
Yeah, cool.
of lettuce and things, and I planted them in here. I'll be honest, I was never intending to eat them.
You just like put them in.
They just,
Yeah.
but they are the things to attract. So there's aphids all over here with the ants that are farming them. I can see them crawling all over. I can see how the plant is struggling in comparison. This one here that doesn't have that pest problem.
Yeah. So,
And another one down here, and you can see that little native bees.
oh yeah, there they are.
Hovering around.
They're coming in. That's so cool. But yeah, it's just like it brings in, aphids are bringing in the ladybugs.
They're doing everything. Well, they will.
They will,
They
yeah.
will. I can't see anything yet. They're nothing on my babies yet. They're really hovering over the cabinet. Look. Absolutely divine edible flower. Oh, we better pick that because we do like the smaller cucumbers. And that one's ready.
Cucumber.
Lebanese cucumbers.
They're awesome this time of year.
Fantastic. And then we will hopefully have some watermelon. We've got a frame over here, and we are hoping we've made the watermelon rush up quicker.
Yeah. There's
So that
another,
we've got
another
watermelon.
beautiful cucumber over here. Look at that.
And then for me, it's the purple beans.
Yeah, they're so cool.
And I need to stop them from going too far up.
Well, they're going to compete with your watermelon, aren't they?
And that's and the loofah. I've noticed that there's a loofah at the front there because it's so quick. They do grow so quick. And that's, I think, I've noticed that when people do see things flowering and loving, they stop tending to shaping of their plants. And it will go like I should. While the yam came in, I did lose a couple in here. I ended up planting new ones down there when the corn left. But really, I did hear. I know I did a video. I started to train it. I didn't want them to go up. I want to train them to go along and then up.
Oh, that's cool.
And it only takes a week of not paying attention.
And it's gone, skyrocketed upwards.
Skyrocketed.
It's cool though.
So started to do it here, and then it went up, there, and up.
You need to be on it every day. I was like kind of doing that with my passion fruit, but it's just gone.
Well, it's this weather, right?
Yeah.
When we've been having these big storms that allow the ground to get lovely and saturated and wet, and things will grow wonderfully, and then the heat comes along, and it can just use the energy so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got beans that you got to eat.
Very good. It's just like, yeah, I like how you just walk around and just pick things. Just kind of think a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Well, I planted out, they're the rows, and this is the one cycle.
Yeah.
You know, that's a wonderful thing to follow. But when you start following something and then you deviate off that, you have this guilt or this shame you didn't get on it. So if you just like doing parts of things that will work,
You're sort of aiming to do it,
okay.
but yeah.
It's okay. But then, of course, this has been learned over a few decades of growing.
Yeah.
I can't say that I was always like that. I wanted things to grow a certain way. But there have been beautiful people within my gardening career that have been able to guide me a little bit better in things. I've actually loved seeing you with your podcast because a lot of them are on there.
Yes. Well, I've got a lot of wonderful people that I've chatted to. But,
it's been beautiful.
And then I get connected with some cool friends of friends and connections of connections.
This was the basil, the holy tulsi, I think is the best, that has the most medicinal properties and the one that I put into our tea. It self-seeds really well, so it's growing very nicely as a weed here.
It smells so beautiful. That smells exactly like the tea. So this is do you say it's like Roma Tulsi, like a white Tulsi?
Or
is it different?
Yeah, the Rama.
Sorry.
The Rama is more from the Gradaceum variety. Mm-hmm. So this one is a sanctum.
Okay.
When we're talking our Latin names and our genes and things like that. There is Gradaceum, sanctum, and tenephorum. So those that are Krishna basils, they're the Rama. Then you've got the tenephorm is a really big one that's very commercially available.
Yeah, that's the one I've heard of more.
Vana basil.
Yeah.
On the other side, and then this one is your holy sanctum.
It's cool. And then you say most medicinal, this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
But unfortunately, like you can see, it's only really growing the 40 centimetres there, where the biggest one, it grows to 2 metres tall.
Gosh, is that just from light?
Bigger, so it's much easier to crop and turn into a product.
And is that just because of it being under this tree?
No, this being under this tree has actually made it quite lovely and light. And grow to flower a little bit later than if it was in the full sun. It'd grow to flower sooner.
Okay.
And it'd be a little bit tougher. Because it's had a bit of a harsh, like it's next to a lion tail there.
Yeah.
There's another mugwort there. That will be the cosmos in there. But then I can also see rat's tail, wandering Jew.
Yeah.
Well, lots of different things.
But it's the diversity and the combination of all these plants, which is what's amazing. Gosh, you've got everything back there. Bananas.
Yeah, so different stages was a lovely veggie patch. But what it has been is a dam against the dam. So we do have the neighbour there with a dam at the corner of their property because
they've got a dam over that side.
Yeah. Coming down to, as I said, the creek behind. We've got a lot of water. So that was coming down and creating such a wet, soggy area, unusable for anything else. Couldn't mow here. So this is where the original returns from all the farmers gone to build up this space. We've grown lots of things. There's a kaffir lime there, the moringa that's left over. A mulberry, which is again from my mother-in-law, the blue quandong, which was one of our first plants that we ever planted here because we had no shade, that and the silky oak. And it now creates a bit of a break. The bananas were a stroke of genius.
Yeah, and obviously they deal well with being in a wet area.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one. You got some on there up on the bunch? Ooh.
So a lot of people ask me about possums.
Oh, yeah.
And if I have any possum problems, and I don't. They go for seed often, if I've accidentally left seed out.
Yeah.
But I will not take all of the bananas. We go through bananas, we get sick of them, and then...
Yeah.
So we might actually take them off for Christmas, those ones, but they've been eaten. They'll be eaten by other things.
It's some for you, some for the animals, some for the pests.
Some for mum, some for dad, some for everyone else. Three is a crop. So our bees, we won't go too far.
Too close?
To the bees.
Yeah, because Are you allergic?
I am.
You're allergic. We'll stay away
I
from the
am.
bees.
I allowed some bees here because I have wonderful friends and I
Yeah.
know that they're so important. And I now have to look after them myself. But I have a lot of support
Yeah.
to get that done because it's hard.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate the honey. It's too cheap at $12 a kilo. The flow hive is not in use. That's my next thing, is transferring over from there because they're getting really, really big. Really, really big. So it's quite overcast today,
Super overcast.
which means that they won't be able to navigate so much. So they've gone out, realised it's not so great, and now they're just hovering around the front, hoping that some of this cloud covers. So this is not the time to check on them because a lot of them are back in their hive. They're not out collecting because they can't navigate so well without the sun. And it makes it really difficult because the time to do it is when there's no clouds, it's blooming hot, and they're all out collecting stuff. And it's the worst time to get up into a suit
Yes.
and carry sticky stuff with some smoke.
That's so true.
I find it, terrible. So winter time's a great time for that.
Mm-hmm. Nice sunny winter day.
And typically we don't rain as much in the winter.
Yeah, it does feel like it's going to rain. This is... Can you see
Yeah,
those dark clouds? No. There we go. Look how overcast it is, making it so muggy.
We're very fortunate here because we do actually have the mountains behind.
Yeah, okay.
So we can often see how the storms are coming from either side of these trees. But you can certainly, from seeing these trees, can see how much wind and storm damage activity we've had by the amount of raw
dead branches just hanging off.
And very beautiful colours. It's produced all the gorgeous colours of the tree.
Yeah, I love it. Looks really cool.
And the bark is ripped off.
Yeah.
We've got the moringa tree, my miracle tree. That'll work. Miracles.
Yes, you showed me that on the video.
Oh, this is the Vana. So we were talking about the Vana. Tulsi basil.
Yeah.
So this is the Vana. So they all get called holy basil or Tulsi because Tulsi means holy, interchangeable language. And what they really signify are the basils that are used for tea and medicinal purposes, and they all have a very floral niceness to them. We're completely different to a sweet basil and a seedy kind of spicy tang. So this one here with the white is your Vana.
The white flowers that come up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
But you can see how you can get more of a crop from these than you can from the other.
Yeah, it's quite a big plant.
Big plant.
It's very good. And then
self-seed.
Obviously so many bees.
So when people are calling the perennial basil holy, that bothers me.
Because it's not right.
Not right, because it's got none of the same medicinal, well, it does have a few, but it hasn't got those key elements. The main thing will be the seed and the smell. If it seeds, it's the Tulsi holy. If it doesn't, it's your perennial basil.
Yeah.
Which is still great for cooking.
Yeah. So, wait, this won't continue on, like it's just a one and done plant, like it's not a perennial.
No, this one is. So your holies will seed. These guys will seed.
Yeah. So that's all the seed.
Tiny. Inside these little capsules.
You get the little black seeds.
Brown. These ones are brown. They're a more oval than, more rounded than the oval basil seed.
Yeah. That's okay. So then it will drop seeds everywhere, and then you get more plants. But this whole plant will still continue anyway after it's seeded.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the miracle thing about them.
Yeah.
They are perennial.
But it's not
a perennial with a seed.
Yeah.
Whereas the perennial basil, this often gets mentioned as holy basil, but it is perennial. Look, sound the bees. This is why it should be in everyone's garden.
Yeah.
But this one actually has that taste of a sweet basil.
Okay, let's have a look.
It's not in the holy
Oh, that's so
realm.
different.
And then
to the
these
Tulsi.
flowers are a lot bigger. The bees are a lot more attracted to this.
It's the white flower as well, which is crazy.
Well,
but
they're
it's
seeing it in the ultraviolet, so they're actually seeing purples.
Goodness me.
And there is landing pads.
Oh yeah.
Got this,
I can't
it's
get it
got
that
these
close.
beautiful cones on the stamens of the bright orange, and then there's just this little landing pad for them. So it's very helpful.
This is beautiful.
But this does not produce a seed. This is one and done.
One and done. Yeah.
So through all of these, you will never get a seed.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Never. And that is also with the African blue. So those two varieties, and then anywhere in between with that, the change of the purple variation on the leaf, they are all one and dones. You can propagate too easily from them.
Yeah, well, that's how you can multiply your plants.
Yeah. Well, they would naturally do that. So this has grown up really big. We'll get a big storm and it will collapse down. When it collapses down, the growth will end up starting to go upright again. And on the node point down here will be where new roots will establish into the ground and they can continue.
That's amazing.
Salvias do that really easily as well. So it's that layering kind of effect. Sometimes the other plant will die, other times it will continue.
But also take over. That's very cool.
Heaps fun. So along here we'll have Luther and blue butterfly pea, and also a rose. I put a climbing rose along there.
It's been kind of...
Like a gift from my husband.
Very
nice. Popular post this year.
Yes.
Him and the rose.
And the rose. That's awesome. Very cool. And I saw this wonderful cactus flowering earlier this year. It's obviously done now with its flowers, but I'm a massive cactus fan. I've got that particular one. Nowhere near it that big, but...
That is the oldest plant here.
I can imagine. And you can see that from like the size of its base.
When we bought this property, there was literally no plants here. It was a spec home built for retirement.
Yeah, okay.
And then family came in to rent it and they had done nothing. It was absolutely bare. There was a tree here, but this particular cactus was at the corner of the shed, busting out of a pot.
Oh, wow.
And I kept it. Later doing research and finding out that it was an edible flower. And although it is in a spot that it probably shouldn't be, it's not too much uncomfortable to do with it. So it does need to be pruned and kept to a small height. The spikes are really big. You have to hold them in such a way.
Yeah.
You do have to take them
heavy
to the
and
tip.
awkward.
However, it's still worth having. It does tell me about rain. There is a west story where it will alert you to when rain's coming out. It certainly did that with the beginning of the storm.
And what happens when that happens? Like, how does it alert you?
You'll see all of the flower buds come on.
Okay.
So it's sensing more than what we do with barometric pressures happening in the environment, and it starts to have all the little flower buds come out. And when you start to see that, you're like, oh, there's rain coming.
There's rain going.
And it'll like the next week.
It's like the mock orange story as well. Like, I've heard that does that too. But...
Yeah, so it's a lot of the plants that have February and November flowering.
Yeah, okay.
There'll be, rain around those times.
So cool.
But you can't do everything.
No, you can't.
All right, everyone, that is a wrap here at Basiliea. It's actually just starting to rain now. The heavens are about to open, so we're going to wrap this up. But an amazing thank you to Sarah, who has taken us around today and showed us the process of this farm. I think it's just an incredibly cool thing to see what you can do with herbs and flowers in this space. I mean, she said 800 growing square meters, but I just don't think it's that. It's actually a lot smaller than that. But we're getting some rain now. We're getting the herbs nice and watered. You can see it starting to come off my shirt. It's been so hot, so it's a nice reprieve. But I highly encourage you, if you are anywhere near the North Brisbane area, please come here and check out Basiliea. They've got some open farm days. There's plenty of markets and cafes and things that are being supplied to, and some restaurants and things, and then also the Moreton Bay Food and Wine Festival, things like that. So it's been really, really fun to be able to be taken around, and I'm gonna, well, that one went straight in my eye. I'm gonna have to get out of here before it gets too wet. But again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and comment about what you want to see next. So thanks for watching. See you soon.